All right, what's up, Alex? We are live here. Where are we, Alex?
We're at the police station.
What?
Yeah.
Now, this is somewhere. This is a place you're pretty familiar with.
I was going to say the same thing.
A man with your track record, you got to be pretty.
Is all over that front lobby
familiar
right here.
with something like this.
It's all over that front lobby.
Yeah. So welcome home, Madera. My name's Abel Perez, and here with my co-host Alex Salazar. And we're at the Madera Police Station here in beautiful Madera, California. It's Monday morning, and we're welcoming you home to Madera.
Good morning. Yeah. Good morning.
So cool. So what do we got in store for today, Alex?
Well, like I said, we're here at Madera Police Department, and I'm super excited to be here. I think this is Madera PD. If you're if you're a resident of Madera like myself, and you're seeing all the awesome things that are happening in the community, from Coffee with the Cop, Neighborhood Watch, and so on, it's kind of like being at Rockstar's house here, right? So, I mean, these guys are super awesome, gals and guys on the force, doing great things in our community, and yeah, we have some pretty good conversation here with them today.
All right, very cool. So, should we bring on our guests?
Yeah, sure.
All right, and then Facebook viewers. So, we are in the enclosed building of the police department. So
secret location.
It's a secret location. It's kind of like a little bat cave. There's like this long giant conference table. I don't know if you can kind of see how big this conference table is. I'll like pan in and out. Look how big that is. But anyway, we're here, and but with all of this, the stream might be a little laggy, and so if you can give us some feedback if you do experience lagging or glitching, let us know so we can correct that. This is the first time we're filming or going live from this location. So without further ado,
let's bring him out.
Let's bring him out. Alex, drum roll. All right, there he is.
I don't know if that was the best rock star drum roll, but I appreciate being referred to as a rock star.
So neither Alex or myself are musically inclined, right? Did you play any instruments? I didn't either.
No.
So I'm glad. Well, I'll have to admit, because I have family that watches, and they'll call me out if I lie. 5th grade, I played the flute. A girl I thought was cute played the flute, and so that's the real reason.
Yep.
And I was never even good. First concert, I think my dad, he was there, and he's like, you know what? I could tell you weren't playing. You were totally faking it. And he was right. I was just kind of going through the motions, and the flutes are in the front row, so it's kind of hard to hide. So anyway, music in my DNA. How about you?
I can't say I played the flute.
Okay. Well, you made me feel a little bit better. Thank you. I appreciate it. So any instruments or anything for you?
No, well, actually, I tried. In junior high, I tried the guitar. I have real fat fingers, like real thick fingers,
yeah.
So putting the chords together didn't work the best, so I stepped away from the musical career.
So how about piano? You got the long hands, and so...
No, not that musically inclined.
Okay.
I wasn't gifted in that way.
Yeah. So instead, what do you do here?
Instead, I'm the commander here at the police department.
Okay.
And enjoy just being involved in the community and providing public service.
And I would say that your enjoyment is for being involved in the community is goes without being said, really. I mean, you're everywhere, right? Sure. And so I know that my son, my oldest son Abel, he's 8 years old, and he went to the sport camp that the Madera Police Department hosted over at the John Wells Youth Center. And that was a blast.
That's our pure joy right there.
And it looked like you were having a blast too, right? It was pretty cool.
It is 4 days of fun.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, anytime you have a room setting with hundreds of, was there 100 kids?
Yeah. We started with 60 the first year. The last 2, we've built it up to 100. So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so for me, I have my 2 boys, and sometimes after about 45 minutes of them going crazy, it's like, oh man, like, all right, guys, calm down, right? So how did you manage your nerves during that time?
Well, I won't deny, by day 4 at 6 hours a day, yeah, you're at your wit's end at times, but the best part is the kids are having so much fun.
Right.
It's the energy level. Not that there's no problem kids, so to say, because they're enjoying themselves and having a great time. But a sports camp with high energy, screaming for 6 straight hours to keep up that energy, yeah, by the 4th day, it's pretty draining.
That's pretty cool. So it was a 4-day or 3-day?
It's 4 days.
4 days.
Monday through Thursday,
and so 4 days of awesomeness. And this happened a couple months ago in June or July?
July. It's been July for the last 3 years.
It was a couple months ago, but I really wanted to revert back to that because it's a testimony to the type of involvement that the Madera police department has committed to being part of, right?
Sure.
And I thought it was a great event. I saw my son being real shy first day, even second day, but by the third, fourth day, man, he was what's up, high-fiving people, and and that's what's needed, right? Especially in a community where there's different school districts, and you almost don't even see kids from your neighboring school unless you're part of sports or doing extra stuff. But something like this gives them an opportunity to kind of meet and realize, hey, there's a lot more people than the 30 kids in my class, right?
Very true.
Yeah,
very true.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, because I guess there's a couple of perspectives people have of police, right? There's the good and there's the bad, and in this community, small community, poor community, that kind of stuff, involvement is pretty good, right? You're reaching out, you guys are getting involved with the community, from Neighborhood Watch to the camp with the kids like Abel's talking about. What other kind of stuff you guys doing after?
Well, that's always been our goal. I'm glad you bring that up. Is you talk about the different perspectives. The thing we want to get away from is the only time you see a cop is during an enforcement action, whether it be on a vehicle stop, because it has a lot of negative connotations. So our goal was that we reach the public in multiple different ways outside of the basic enforcement stop or something that you would commonly feel as a negative effect. So yeah, outside of that, we pushed our department. We had a vision that started with Steve Frazier talking about connecting with the community, and that's where these project-based things that we have produced came from. So the Mad Kids Kid Camp revolved around, hey, I have a passion for kids, so let's put together a kids camp. Neighborhood Watch was the number one thing that kicked off through that vision, and that was being able to go out to where people live and then have an open ear to hear what their problems are in their specific neighborhood. So that was probably the biggest piece for us first connecting to the community, because everything else is very specific. This was one way we could reach each neighborhood and really truly figure out what they want from the police department. So it's that open communication on their requests.
And I can imagine also, like for instance, neighborhood watches, which have grown. I mean, they've doubled, tripled in size from when they first started, right? There's 60,
by far.
70, right?
Yes.
And even the smaller neighborhood watches are growing, and neighbors are getting involved, stuff like that. But that must also help with you fighting or solving crime too.
It definitely does.
Things,
It's
right?
building those relationships and having the trust. It's all about building trust. If you don't have trust with your police department, you're not going to communicate in that way. There's some instances where neighbors don't want to be known. They want to remain anonymous, but they have to have that trust in law enforcement that will go out and handle it and not be like, hey, your neighbor's complaining on you, and then cause a rift between the neighborhoods. Some things, they don't need to know who called. We just need to go out and handle it. Maybe it's a loud music complaint or something that's a repetitive issue that's maybe minor. If the neighbor confronted, maybe it would cause issues, but we could just bring it up to them to see if they could fix it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we're getting a lot of good morning, everybody. We got Regina's watching. Good morning, Bo. Elaine, my sister. Good morning. Anthony's watching. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. So how are we doing over there, Abel?
Yeah, so I think we're doing well. I know that the stream is kind of spotty, and so I'm getting a little bit of that feedback, especially from Melissa Arredondo.
It's just her phone.
It was her.
She should get off Cricket.
Is anybody else experiencing spotty reception here? And I know that it doesn't help mine because I'm for some reason I don't have reception in here with my cell phone, so I can't see it. Can you see it, Alex?
I can see okay.
Well, we are in
And
a
you're good?
bunker. We talked about being, just in case something happens,
Yeah.
we need the two of you to be safe in this community.
Right.
So you are the most important during this hour. So.
Right. So Elaine said, or Alyssa says, you may have to move outside. But yours, is it streaming pretty?
It's coming and going. And bear with us, guys. We're just trying a new piece of technology. It's Abel's fault. He got it on sale.
Yeah.
Told him to spend the extra
So,
$20 for.
When you buy things on
the
sale,
shipping,
things
and
may
there he
happen,
goes.
right? Yeah. So anyway, again, for all you viewers just tuning in, we are at the Madera Police Department in the private bunker, and we have a special guest with us here today who is going to show us some quick draws and show Alex how how a bulletproof vest actually works and how it stops a bullet. And
He actually has his taser on him. He's going to tase you.
Oh, no.
He did volunteer.
I'll do the tasing if you test out the bulletproof vest. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna keep playing with this stream right here, and we'll get it right eventually. So Alex, a lot of things happened this weekend though.
Yeah.
A lot of cool events, local events, and we talk about community camaraderie and banding together. Did you get an opportunity to attend any events this weekend?
I actually just went to a wedding. On
Okay.
Saturday.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a lot of cowboy attire there.
That was the whole thing. That was the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Try it out, one time. It was pretty good.
Yeah, so I know that
I was feeling it.
you enjoyed a local. You got all your stuff local, right?
Right. Yeah.
All of your gear. So
Yeah.
why don't you give them a shout out?
Oh yeah, that was Ortiz Western Wear, right on C Street in Yosemite.
Yeah.
Right in front of Wells Fargo. They're totally awesome. Yeah, walked in there, didn't know what to expect.
I think that's D Street.
D Street.
D Street, yeah, D Street, and in Yosemite areas, didn't know what to expect. Was looking for just looking for stuff.
Did you get a hat?
I got the hat.
You got the hat,
Got
right.
a pair of boots for myself, and belt buckle. I had everything else already. But then my sister called and said, what are you guys doing, everything like that, and I told them I was looking for boots, and here comes my nephews, and I got them boots too. And they loved the boots because they were playing soccer, so they left
the boots?
No, well,
okay.
they left soccer practice. They left soccer, came over, got their boots, and right away put on their boots and run around all day long with the boots. And my sister sent me a picture the next day. My nephew was taking a nap with his boots on still.
Oh
So
man,
those
that's
kids
pretty
love the
cool.
boots, yeah.
What
That's
kid
really cool.
doesn't love
Right?
being a cowboy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So Ortiz Western Wear sounds like they had sizes for you, the kids, everything,
Yeah.
the whole family, right?
Yeah.
Everybody can grab a.
And I got a pretty cool cowboy hat.
Yeah, you were.
But it was making its rounds.
Yeah, that's what I was
Different
gonna say.
people were trying out that hat.
You weren't the only model for that hat. I saw like every family member of yours had the hat on, and it was like the hat. So
Yeah.
that's cool. Did you do any tricks on the dance floor with that hat?
No,
Like,
no
just-
tricks on the
you
dance
spin
floor.
it,
No. At least I have to remember.
drop it, kick it back up on your head, nothing like that.
No, every
you're gonna
next
have to.
time, yeah.
You're gonna have to work on that, Alex. Cool.
Now, how did the talent show go this past week?
Okay, so the talent show, we had audition, or we had a
auditions.
rehearsal last Thursday, and that's the Madera's Got Talent show hosted by the Madera Leo Club. Available for contestants consist of grade school students from K through 12, and we had our first rehearsal on Thursday. And first rehearsal, we have two rehearsals before the actual show. First rehearsal always consists of just working out the kinks, right? And determining sound, getting a show that's in order, that's kind of fluent, where the acts kind of complement each other, and there's genre specific. And so all that coordination was done. So huge shout out to the Madera Leo Club for really rolling up their sleeves that day. I know there was a lot of work and there was a lot of people involved. I myself was actually not at that rehearsal. My sons had soccer practice, so my wife attended that and helped out with that, and so we kind of had to split ourselves. Of course, take care of the sons there. And this year, my sons aren't contestants, so
Oh, man.
a little bummed out about that. But at the same time, it's always pretty stressful because they're so stressed out, and it's a
you
little
guys are
nerve-wracking.
stressed out.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
well.
Stephanie's trying to get him to hit these high notes, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So, and I'm tone deaf, so I can't help for anything.
But at least your wife and one of your sons got a debut on a commercial. I've been seeing that on
Yes,
TV.
yes.
And you
So-
had your little spot back there.
Yeah, I was in the
People
background.
recognize you.
It was a little unfortunate that they didn't use me on a prime.
I heard that's coming
commercial.
later. There's a second part to that commercial.
I don't know. It was kind of like this. It was kind of like, oh yeah, beautiful family. All right, sir, you go on the way back. And hey,
We like
can
your
we use
beautiful
you guys
wife
for
and your kid, but we'll
yeah?
take
Can we
you
use
back
your
there.
kids and your wife for some special scenes? And I was like, yeah, let's
And
do
go
it.
get us a coffee.
Yeah, literally. Hey, can you hold this glass of water? Can you put more ice in there? So no, but that was for Rob Poitras, who's running for state senate, who's a local Madarian, and his campaign manager Anthony Duhan, who has been working his tail off for that campaign, connected us with that opportunity. And you know, if you know Stephanie, my wife, you know that she throughout high school was in theater, and you know really loves the spotlight. I guess you know.
I'm sure she jumped
yeah.
on that really. Yeah.
So I don't really like being in front of a camera and stuff like that myself.
You don't? What?
but anyway.
That's a shock. Now you tell me.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it was really cool. We did it right in his neighborhood, and you know, everybody's really nice. A lot of his family were there, and some other volunteers, and you know, just really, yeah, it was nice to be part of something like that. And it's kind of cool to see, you know, the behind the scenes on how like something's edited. You know, like all these different versions of how it's taken, and then you edit it and you make something, you know, that cool.
Yeah.
So it was really cool.
We're not that cool. We're not that prepared.
We're not that sophisticated yet, but we
No
are.
editing
Yeah,
on this?
we are accepting donations. You know, we'll start donations at $10,000, right?
Yeah.
The equipment's pretty sophisticated. You got to hire a 12-man crew and pay them an annual salary.
Hey, but
like
we
that.
do have a new crew member. We're gonna have a producer here pretty soon. Alyssa Ardondo's gonna join the crew.
Does she want to produce?
Yeah, she's
Oh,
gonna
nice.
produce. So we're gonna get some pretty cool stuff out of her.
Nice. Okay.
You know, ideas and stuff like that too.
Yeah, so I'm sure Alyssa will, you know, definitely take care of the glitchy stream and make sure that all of that's on point. And when you got Alex and myself rolling in like 10, 15 minutes prior, it probably doesn't help the situation, right? So I told Alex, I came in at like 9:50 or 8:55, and I was like, man, Alex, life just hit me this morning. I'm sorry. He's like, I get it. So
Yeah.
Your
just
operation's
stroll in,
plug
right?
and go, though.
Yeah,
So
it
you're up
is
and
very
running.
plug and go. So it is not
Talking
not too
about
hard.
weekends, this weekend was the Love
Oh, yeah.
Madera event.
So,
April
yeah.
Molina put
you guys
on.
go out there and
Yeah, we
participate?
had about eight of our officers who volunteered their time
Cool.
with the chief and the lieutenants. And downtown was the area that we were in charge of, but there was multiple volunteers throughout the city that came out to just love on Madera.
Sweet.
Clean up trash and
So was that a 2-day thing or 1-day thing?
it was a one-day thing.
1-day thing
on a
Saturday morning, right?
Yeah.
You guys meet at the Courthouse
Courthouse
Park
Park. Yeah.
and kind of do run down what you guys gonna do.
It's
and
a
break up
rah-rah,
in teams.
actually.
Yeah, okay.
It's to
Okay.
show everybody
Yeah.
that, hey, we're here to make a difference.
Yeah.
And it was really great from April Molina to put that together. So shout out to her. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah,
for
thank you, April.
All,
Yeah,
all the
April,
things
you
you
guys
do in
did
the
a really
community.
good job with that. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, there's when you talk about like that raw moment. I mean, I saw the pictures that were posted, and then I always read through the comments. Right, you get like Madera Police Department always gets the funniest comments on their stuff, and it's like I wouldn't want to say it's funny, but it's kind of like it is laughable. But you know, some people are like, well, why don't you get the city to do this? Why don't you enforce a tax so that's done weekly? You know, things like that. And you know, I think that you know all that kind of correlates, right? You talk about you know how do we keep downtown clean? Well, are people coming downtown? How do we draw a crowd there? So I think the mutual consensus across the board is like people want to see downtown prosper.
They do.
They want to see it. They want it to be a center point for Madera. They want to be able to go down there and with their families, with their friends, and really enjoy themselves, right? Whether that's during the day or during the night. So, you know, having a group of people take initiative and go down there and show what it takes to actually keep it that way, I think is really cool.
Yeah, you know, and there's also another component to that too, which is the community part of it. So we're talking about Neighborhood Watch, right? When you involve the community, like Love Madera, then the community now owns that cleanup.
Right.
You know, it's no longer the city's job or that's that business owner's job or police department now with code enforcement to take care of those issues. Now the community can get involved and now they own it too. You
Right.
know? And so I'm very sure that, you know, any volunteer or any police officer, when you're off the beat and you're walking up and downtown, you know, restaurants or whatever, you're going to have a little bit more appreciation for downtown because you took part of, you know, cleaning it up and getting involved. So there's that other part too. I think,
Yeah.
And that is, it's always been, and it's our second tenet of our what Steve Frazier put on, and it's asking citizens to reassert their role in community livability and reduction in crime, and that is asking them to take an active role and not sit back and just be like, oh, that's going on, but take that active role of either confronting or calling or doing your part to clean up your neighborhood. Because as you know, one of the biggest reasons why code enforcement was such a great fit for us and I don't know if that's a good intro, but
we'll
one of
segue into that.
yeah, good segue. But one of the reasons why code enforcement was such a great fit to be under the umbrella of the police department is, as soon as you go into neighborhoods that turn into ghettos because of poor housing, just the livability is subpar. It creates crime and invites crime in, and that's where gangs typically like to house themselves, and it just gets worse in a downward spiral. So if we can ask the community to clean up their neighborhoods, look out, report things, and become teamwork with the police department, we can actually improve that area and reduce crime, which then improves values of homes and quite.
And then when you do it in a neighborhood watch where the neighbors are getting together, police are involved, you're in their street, in front of someone's yard, on their time, then it's a little bit more personal.
It is.
You're not just someone in a uniform, riding around in the car or anything like that. You're coming in. You're a Maderan. You're just another.
It makes it easier to talk to.
Exactly.
When you build that friendship, it's easier for someone to reach out and say, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know about something."
Yeah.
And usually those are the things that are like, "That was a good tip. It really led to this."
Right.
Yeah, and there's it's take ownership of what you own, right? I mean, as real estate professionals, Alex, I mean, you would agree that all that leads and contributes to your home value, right?
Correct.
And so when you talk about why are gangs and people who are committing these crimes congregating to these areas, it's because it's affordable housing, right? It becomes affordable because the values of these homes are being devalued, and there's that correlation there. So the neighborhood watches, you get everybody to band together, and no, it's not snitching, right? It's not it's taking ownership to what's yours. It's taking ownership and taking the initiative and saying, no, we're not going to tolerate this.
I don't want that crime in my neighborhood. I don't want my neighbor to be broken into.
Right, exactly.
I don't want to have to worry about my car parked in the street and think it's going to be get broken into or something like that. Neighborhood watch, I think, is that easy solution. And again, I think having that community aspect, now you own it.
Right.
Now you own if crime's happening, you're not reporting it. You're actually now part of that problem too. So the only way to solve it is to get involved.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing more demoralizing than coming home after a long day of work, and you got all your bills on your mind, but then coming home and then you're just seeing abandoned vehicles and trash cans fall over, empty beer cans all over the street, and that just you got to you have to have a sense of pride in what you own, and I think programs like this really help build that and really complement that. So
now we were talking about code enforcement, so just a little bit of back history, right?
Sure.
The association, myself as president, and code enforcement a few years ago, we started working on the rental inspection ordinance. And as it is, being in real estate community here in town, and with the foreclosures the last few years, we were always working hand in hand with code enforcement, right?
Sure.
With the bank repos and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, a few years ago, they reached out to us to work on rental inspection ordinance. And we worked on it. We were not fans of it in the beginning. We weren't fans of it at the end. But at the end of the day, now that it's here and we're living with it, and we talked about the goals of that rental inspection ordinance, we all realize now that it's actually, it's going to help the community in the long run, right?
It's the main goal.
It's the main purpose of it, because unfortunately there are bad landlords, and there are bad tenants too, equally, that are abusing the housing,
Sure.
And it's unhealthy living conditions for not only an adult, but also for a child, to live in a house with mold or no electricity or no running water and stuff like that shouldn't be happening. Right?
No, it's the health and safety issues that are the main concern for us. Yes, there's outside issues, but the health and safety, even down to as simplest of, which a lot of times is the biggest thing we find during rental inspection is smoke alarms. So those types of areas are the safety portion for kids and families.
Right. And even in a poor community, there's no excuse. That should not exist even in the poor community.
No,
period,
it's really cheap.
And a smoke detector, like you said, before we started the show, you were saying that smoke detectors are probably the most common thing that you guys are finding.
That
out
and
there,
carbon
right?
monoxide, because a lot of times when they first purchased the house, maybe it wasn't mandatory, but now it is,
Right.
especially in rental inspections.
But you're talking, what, $20, $30 for a
Yeah.
combo, right?
Yeah.
One of those
Well,
things?
it's even cheaper because sometimes they have them, but just didn't never change the batteries.
Right.
Or what we're finding, kind of a interesting topic, is every once in a while a tenant may just need a battery for their clicker for the TV,
Uh-huh.
and they take out a smoke detector, and the
That actually recently
the
happened.
landlord didn't know, but now it's an unworking and not working smoke detector.
So that happened recently to me. I was selling a property, and we go in there. We try to prepare the property for an appraisal. Right, the appraiser's going to ask for these things. So go in there, change the smoke detectors. Appraiser comes out, does their thing. It's all good. Buyer goes back to do their final walkthrough 5 days before it's supposed to close. Guess what? Smoke detectors are taken off because they had to do the same exact thing. They needed batteries for the remote, and they took them out of the.
Our goal is not to do inspections during Christmas time. Just kidding. But, Christmas time, you always need those batteries. You never have enough. Smoke detectors are the first place you rob.
Yeah.
But that's a safety issue. So we just ask that we go to the store, not take them.
Yeah.
And to be fair with the smoke alarms, man, I remember going 3 months hearing that chirp. Chirp, chirp. And my father-in-law, every time he'd come over, and finally I think he was got on a chair, is up there. I got it, fine. I had a box of batteries in the drawer, and it's just so it is important though.
It is.
It is important.
Yeah,
I actually, that's happening in my house right now. It just started on Friday. I heard the chirp. Oh my gosh. But it's down the hall. I don't use that room very often, and the batteries are way on the other side of the house. So I'll get to it today.
So you're a culprit of it as well, Alex. Jeez.
I mean, it's we're joking about it and it's funny, but that little thing can it's going to save someone's life. For sure. And if we had any kind of public service announcement, it's keep batteries in your smoke detectors.
Correct.
Keep them in your property. It's real simple stuff. Save a life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So cool. So any upcoming events the Madera Police Department has?
Yeah, on October 18th, Thursday the 18th, it's our Connect event. It's attached to National Night Out, so it's NNO Connect. Last year we tried it in August. It was the same week as National Night Out, but if you recall, it was
10
It
degrees.
was hot.
Yeah.
Let's just say it was hot. Leave it at
Yeah.
that. It was Madera hot. Central Valley hot. So we thought it would be best to move it towards the fall. It's still going to be at the fairgrounds. Starts at 6 or 6:30. I don't have the exact time. Lacey Burleson is our contact if someone wants a booth. We're not looking to have booths where people are selling things, but just how they connect to the community.
Cool.
So it's a community event, free food, free to bring your families out, and it's a way for law enforcement and the community to come together. And we have the sheriff's department, probation,
Awesome.
all the different entities. CHP will be out there with all their toys, and it's just a way to interact. We have a fire truck pull, so there's a competition.
Oh, nice.
Between the different law enforcements. That's
Nice.
for and I forget anyways, moving on.
Okay.
But
So are you guys competing in that, against
we
the
will.
sheriff or CHP?
It's against all law enforcement.
Okay.
We'll each have our own team.
Nice.
Are you on the team?
No, not as of yet. I haven't been drafted.
They're
I'm hoping we
good.
have some bigger, stronger, younger guys and
Yeah.
gals. So.
Now, is this at the fairgrounds?
It's at the fairgrounds again.
So
yes.
I think we went to this last year. It was first time last year.
First
right?
time
Kinda
last year.
having
This is the second time. We're
That was
hoping to
actually a
make it little
pretty
bit
cool
bigger.
event. Yeah,
Yeah.
that actually was pretty cool.
Well, where else can you go for free with your family
Yeah.
and get free food?
Yeah.
I mean, if
Free
nothing else,
food?
come
Wait,
out for
hold
that.
on. You said
Come out
free
for free
food?
food. Yes.
Wow.
It's not lobster. It's not. I don't know
I need a solid.
what we're going to serve this year. We haven't figured it
Okay.
out. Last year's it was hot dogs. I believe we had some hamburgers out
Yeah,
there.
I think it's
Okay,
hot dogs
cool.
and
Hot
hamburgers.
dogs and
something like that,
hamburgers.
yeah.
That's cool.
But this year we're hoping to step it up, increase our community
Cool.
involvement.
Yeah.
It's just the internet. My internet. Should have paid my bill.
You should have paid your bill on time. There you go.
Well, Facebook, if you are joining us back, Alex, if you don't mind sharing this new live feed. I don't know if it picked up where we left off or it's a brand new one. But share this one. Sorry, we apologize that one kicked off.
It's
But
still going.
we are back in live. All right, cool.
It's on the red one, yeah.
All right, cool. So, And what day was that again? September 18th?
October 18th. It's a
October
Thursday evening.
Well, I'm glad it's not September 18th because I knew it would have passed already, right?
Last week.
So, any of you have an opportunity to attend the fan club dinner?
No.
I did not.
Okay, so that was Madera Athletics. So for
that was
both
Saturday
high
too,
schools,
right?
yeah, Saturday. It looked like a really good time. I had a lot of friends and family that were able to attend that. So I saw a lot of pictures come through. So again, another great cause for Madera that really goes towards it's small. It's businesses here located in Madera giving these opportunities for Madera High athletics, Madera High and Madera South. So I think the concept, which is pretty cool, it came from, all these businesses, every sport, whether it's at the high schools or wherever, right? You get all these students, athletes who are going to all these businesses. Hey, can you sponsor? Can you sponsor? Can you sponsor? And as much as these businesses want to support everybody, it's almost impossible, right? So in order to kind of clean that up and make sure that businesses have the opportunity to give to this fund and then disperse it out evenly, they have Fan Club. And so that's what Fan Club was created for. So if you have an opportunity to support Fan Club, please do so. Great cause, all going to our student athletes and really minimizes the costs, the out-of-pocket costs and expenses that they occur throughout the year for all of their equipment, gear, travel, and things of that nature.
So we actually have a couple of events coming up this week that we should be talking about.
Yes, we should be.
So first is the association's luncheon. We always usually have it third or fourth Wednesday of the month. So this Wednesday is our September luncheon, and it's Affiliate Appreciation Week. So if you're an affiliate, reach out to the association called PREAT at 673-2218 and find out how you can sign up to be part of that luncheon this Wednesday. Because it's all about the affiliates.
Yeah.
So
it's all about me then.
It's all about you.
I'm an
That's
affiliate, right?
And you guys are going to be our guest speaker. You're going to share with us what you guys are doing, things that you guys are offering to the association.
Oh, cool.
So it's all about the affiliates this week. So again, you want to participate in that, reach out to the association and get signed up for this Wednesday.
Yeah, this Wednesday.
And then Friday is poker night.
Poker night?
Club One Casino. Yeah. You should join us.
I so said, I didn't know we had poker night on Friday night.
Yeah, Friday. It's this Friday. It's our third annual poker night tournament, which is in Club One Casino.
Sure.
It's $45 per person, music and food, and it's a pretty cool event. And it's a theme this year. It's like 50s theme, something like that.
Yeah.
So you get dressed up in.
I got a zoot suit.
There you go.
I'm ready for it.
There you go.
That's what Alex asked last time.
I
right?
got the
Hey,
big chain. I am ready.
Oh, sweet. There you
that'd
go.
be pretty
So
cool.
see-
So you could bring a big fat fake cigar or a
it
real
doesn't
cigar.
have to be fake.
Yeah,
I have
whatever
plenty
you
of
have.
real. Not promoting
and you
it,
can
but
look like Al Capone right there, and that'd be pretty sweet.
So if you want to participate with that, then reach out to Alyssa Arredondo and again the association at 673-2218 for tickets for the poker tournament this weekend too. And then Saturday.
That's to say, we have something real big Saturday,
Yeah,
right?
and
A
Saturday-
big thing that goes right down the
Right
middle of
down-
Yosemite
sort of
Avenue,
a headache
right?
for you guys to go
Speaking
there,
of
right?
downtown,
It's
right?
not a headache. It's
No.
a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I love it. Yeah. The only issue is if you're out there and you park in downtown Saturday mornings, I would just ask that you stay off Yosemite Avenue.
There you go.
Because we
Right.
want to keep it clear and we don't want to have to tow people. So by 9 a.m. we have to have the entire streets cleared. So any vehicles parked, we do our best. We walk the doors for an hour and a half prior, warning people and trying. And we have signs, but we still have a car or two every once a
Couple,
year.
yeah.
So just know, Old Timers Parade.
All Timers Day
This
Parade.
weekend.
That's my favorite right
So
there. I
Alex,
love that.
hopefully that morning you're not trying to get more boots and hats at Ortiz and you
He
park
can
right
wear
there
the
on
same
Yosemite.
stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, very cool. And then so Madera Young Professionals is
Right.
actually
Huge help.
we're gonna be running into you. Anybody who's joining us at the after party, which is at the park,
Yeah.
right after all the floats pass by. And we are, the Madera Young Professionals has taken the initiative to organize all of the booths and just really help locate them. And we ourselves will have a location there, and we'll be able to provide some pretty good information on how you can sign up and join the Madera Young Professionals. And again, Madera Young Professionals, opportunity for any young professional, whether young in their career or looking to get into a new career. We try to provide that mentorship and bridge the gap between those individuals and people who are established in those careers. So looking forward to seeing you guys out there this Saturday.
Yeah, so Old Timers Day, really 2 events. It's the parade that starts, what time does it start, by 9 o'clock?
9:30 or
Yeah.
10.
I
I
think
say
it's
we
10.
shut it down at 9.
And it
then
starts over
10
there
starts.
by John Wells Youth Center.
Correct.
Right.
Comes all the way down Yosemite to Courthouse Park, basically, and then turns right at the library. So there's the parade, and there's going to be hundreds of floats, from political to community stuff. The police department's going to have a float
Police
too.
de-
Got some bikes out there.
I don't know if we'll have
Well,
a
not a float, but you
But
guys
we'll have
the
our
bikini in the
motorcycles,
front.
we'll have a watch commander vehicle. Yeah, we'll have some vehicles out there.
All right, sounds good. And then, like Abel was saying, we're going to have the booth part in the park, all the booths there too.
Mhm.
So that's another free event. You go
So we
sit there and
asked the
hang out.
community to come out and support, but at the same time, if you're not going to be out there, to kind of avoid the area, to
Right.
just know the traffic congestion,
Right.
and give yourself a little bit extra time. Have a little more patience that morning, because it is an
Right.
event for the whole community. I know not the whole community could show up, so just know we don't want to ruin it for the ones that do want to show up. So just have a little patience, and just know there's going to be some rerouting. So
Yeah, if you got to get through downtown, go down I Street. Take 4th to I.
There's plenty of
Go
side
around it,
routes,
yeah.
right? There's plenty of side routes.
Yeah.
So cool. And then, of course, as that's later on that Saturday, after the parade, is the Madera's Got Talent Show. That's going to be at the Madera South Campus. Tickets are available at the door. All proceeds go to providing coats, shoes, and socks for our elementary students here in Madera. So pretty cool event. So make sure you join there. Take a few dollars extra cash, because there is a snack bar that you can enjoy for yourself and the kids. And then there's actually an event tonight, right?
Oh yeah, and then we got the debate tonight.
The
too.
debate. Are you going to the
The
debate?
candidates
I am not.
forum. It's not a debate.
Oh,
the
yes,
candidates
tonight.
Forum.
Yes,
Yeah,
I am.
kind of.
I read debate somewhere online.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe
Somebody
I posted
posted
something, I don't
debate,
know.
yeah.
there'll be a moderator, right?
Yeah, the moderator,
That'd
yeah.
be pretty cool.
So there should be a little bit of debating, but for the most part, it's coming out and giving them a
So I'm a political
opportunity to
junkie.
speak.
I like that kind of stuff. You guys like that kind of stuff? I
Yeah,
like it.
yeah. Especially when it comes to local politics. It's it almost doesn't seem like politics to me. It's just local community members who are stepping up and saying, you know what, I see a need for more,
Mhm.
and I'm willing to sacrifice my extra time to really putting in and ensuring that Madera gets to the next level, right? And so it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot out of you to fill these roles. And when you see these local elected officials out and about, it's like, man, you're everywhere. Right? Like, geez,
I don't know how
man.
they do it. With
Yeah,
the amount of effort they put in,
Yeah.
and places they go on a daily basis,
Right.
is amazing.
And then they don't always have fans either.
Right.
There's some people who
You're always under
I don't
scrutiny,
know.
There's
right?
scrutiny. Yeah, a lot of scrutiny sometimes.
So, and I think that's when you transition into somebody who's like just highly involved in the community, to that role, yeah. And it could, I would imagine it could be a shocker just to kind of step in there and be like all of a sudden being scrutinized. Like, guys, I'm just trying to do the public a service, But of course, we do we do value the opinions of everybody, and it does serve the purpose of keeping everybody honest and ensuring that we're focusing on the issues that are passionate about. So tonight will be a good opportunity for you to really hear from the candidates directly. I know there's a lot of yard signage and billboards out there and Facebook posts, but there's nothing like hearing somebody talk in front of you directly, right? Get it straight from the source, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of issues brought up that are going to help you make a better voting decision come November.
So there's going to be 2 candidates forum. Tonight is DA and City Council,
Mhm.
right? And then I think there'll be one probably first or second week of October, and that'll be the school district one, I think.
Right.
I don't think there's any supervisor seats. I think they're all decided by now. But anyways, it's local stuff, so pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And that's tonight, VFW Hall on
VFW.
Granada.
Correct.
Starts at 6 p.m. That's free
All right.
too.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks to
Awesome.
the Chamber of Commerce for putting that on.
Yeah,
And
so
I think the Coalition of Justice, Community Justice, too, is putting that on.
right on. All right. Well, Deborah Brave just staying busy out there.
And Deborah Bray's going to be
She's the lead this
the lead
weekend
for the
Saturday.
parade. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the chairman, marshal. What's it called?
Grand Marshal.
Grand
Right,
Poobah?
Yeah.
All right.
So she'll be out there with her wave, you know.
All right,
Yeah.
Deborah. Well, you get some FaceTime. We'll definitely have some pictures taken of you, and I'm sure you're going to do a really good job, just as you do with most events. So, good job, Deborah. All right, cool. I am just making sure that I'm not missing anybody's comments here.
So while you're looking at comments, we do have something coming up where we're teaming up with the Housing Authority office for Pomona Ranch for the second year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's just working to try and house some of our temporary homeless families, getting kids out of maybe the conditions of living in hotels or staying at a family's residence in a garage, and trying to get them to a place of permanent residency.
Right.
So that we'll have some fundraising going on in October,
Okay.
but they'll be housing them from November through, I believe it's March or April. It's a 5-month program.
Yeah.
Last year we had 7. This year we're looking for 10 to 15. We're looking to increase that. So that's
Wow.
something that's on the horizon right now, that started with Councilmember Rigby.
Yeah, that's excellent, because so Pomona Ranch is Avenue 12 and 99.
Correct.
Right?
It's a migrant housing is what it
Migrant
was
housing.
built for, but there's certain times of the year where the migrant work is not available, so
Right,
they
this
move on to the
off-seasons,
next
yeah.
location. It's an off-season, so it's really just a huge complex that's empty.
Yeah.
And the Housing Authority with Councilmember Rigby came together and thought, how can we use this to better some of our citizens that are struggling in Madera?
Yeah.
And they received some grants to provide some heating units and things like that. And then the community's really been great with donations. Because what we do is we provide them, we're expecting these people to have nothing. They're coming from temporary housing or homelessness. So we're trying to give them a fresh start. And all those donations go towards bedding, kitchen, cups, knives, spoons, forks,
Very basic
the
stuff
very
that we take
basic
advantage-
stuff that we
yeah.
take advantage of. We provide it brand new for them, so as soon as they leave and start their new housing, they don't have the burden of buying those things.
Nice.
That they're already provided as they leave as a gift to you.
Right.
Here we are, and
So
then
how long do they have access to that house?
5 months.
5 months. Okay.
Yes.
So it's pretty, it's a really heartwarming, another great example of this community and all the great things that police doing and housing authority and all of this stuff coming together. Because like you're saying, some of those families, and unfortunately they're families who are experiencing recent homelessness or living in hotels or in cars, it's the first time in a long time that child's receiving their own room sometimes, or a bed,
Definitely.
or a blanket.
The
So
other
this
fun
small
thing
stuff,
is
yeah.
we get to spoil them during Christmas
Yeah,
time.
right.
That's one of our favorite. Our association, the Madera Police Officers Association, as well as numerous other associations, we usually will grab a family and just love on them during Christmas time, and to see their faces on the morning knocking on their door and providing them just gifts, usually through the family. We ask the parents, like, hey, what do your kids
Yeah.
want? Like, what do they really want? We want to spoil them this year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's always fun.
And the
It's
neat
pretty
thing
cool.
about it is that because they have this 5 months, this transitional housing, it actually is kind of like part of their resume. The city's helping them get permanent housing elsewhere.
Well, during that time, we try and work on cleaning up some of their problems, whether it be their credit history, some of
Right.
those things. We're trying to get them as much social services as they're able to get. So we work through a lot of their problems, because sometimes they don't know where to start. So there's a whole team that kind of puts an umbrella over them and says, hey, let's work through this and let's get you back on the right path. So within that 5 months, when they're ready to step out that door, they have a new start. And typically we're trying to get them that automatic 1-year lease.
Yeah.
It's great to see them back in
It's
the
a great
homes.
program.
I mean, you got to figure. They say like everybody is 1 or 2 crazy life events away from being homeless,
Right.
right? And so it could happen to any one of us. And so knowing that there's programs out there that will help pick up that slack for the time being, and allows you to get back on your feet. That's pretty cool, because I always think about that. Like if you're homeless and you go apply for a job and you go to your interview, your clothes are going to be dirty, right? You may protrude a certain odor, and that may prevent you from getting the job. But then it's like, but I need the job in order to get clean, right? Or in order to get fresh clothes. And so it's just a snowball effect, and services like that certainly go a long way of giving you that 5 months to get back on the feet. And,
Well, the other
and
problem
get out there.
sometimes we see is they fell into hard times, so they got evicted.
Mhm.
And how many landlords that someone has a fresh eviction are going to say, yeah, I'll take a chance. You had an eviction. I expect you're going to get a full year's payment. And So that's the thing we need to work through. So make sure that their credit history, so they'll fall behind in credit. So between the credit and the eviction, really they're out of luck now, because they're not going to be able to buy their own home. So they're looking for a landlord to take a chance on them, and most of them don't, right? And so our goal is to kind of clean up what they have going on, and then give them 5 months so they have a chance to build up some funds for a down payment type thing. So
And, you know, and it takes a village, right? It takes
does.
a village.
Oh, it definitely
And
does.
so I think-
and that's the best part about this community,
Right.
though, is over the last 6 years, and it's I'm not saying it wasn't there 6 years prior, but just in the last 6 years, I've seen so much growth of people saying, "How can I help?
Yeah.
What can we do?"
Yeah.
And we are just right there on just breaking out to being one of the best communities.
You know, it's part of that momentum that the young professionals talk about when
Yeah.
we get together. There's momentum in
Sure.
in this town, in this community, you know, and it goes to that neighborhood watch, to this Pomona Ranch, and the parade this weekend, and all of these things. You know, there's just this momentum, and people just willing to help out and do stuff. Even La Madera, you know.
It is so true.
Yeah, I mean, we're not the best community. We're not by far. We have our problems too, but I think we're
Call them areas of opportunities, right? We're definitely growing.
Everywhere has them.
And as you're growing, you have your growing pains, right? And you gotta work through those pains, and figure out the logistics of those. But I think right now, where you say that momentum, it's coming from the bottom up. You know, where not saying that the people are the bottom, but that's
Ground roots.
That's ground roots. Yeah, it's grounded. You know, people are taking initiative and saying, you know what, I feel like having an event here, or I feel like doing this, or having this fundraiser, and they're just doing it. You know, and a lot of people, growing up, you hear all the time where it's like, oh, there's nothing to do in Madera. Madera has, Madera never does nothing right. It's always done half-assed. And we got to remember, it's not that, I don't think some of these events, it's not that they're done half-assed. It's just everybody's kind of waiting to see, is it going to be a success? Are a lot of people going to show up, right? And if everybody's standing back, and I think that was the problem years back, everybody was kind of standing back just watching, and then nobody would be there. And they'd say, oh, I told you so. Well, it's like, well, yeah, but we need you and your family and friends to be there. And I think now we're seeing that transition where people are like, yeah, I'll go. And people are not only going by themselves, but they're pulling, 4 or 5 people with them. And that's really what's required, And I know that right now there's a lot of, charity events or donation type events. And, that's great. You can kill 2 birds with one stone, or 2 birds with one stone. You can go socialize, and you can donate to a pretty cool cause.
Right.
But most importantly, those events, I see the entrepreneurs out there, small business owners, they're taking note of those events, and they're saying, hey, there's a demand. We were serving craft beer here, and now look at the line for craft beer. We need a pub, we need a brewery, right? And then we're seeing those things coming, and so it's these stepping stones, and it's really cool to be part of. And one day we'll all probably be old men and 30, 40 years, and looking back and saying, wow, look at Madera now. I remember when we were just trying to get people to show up.
Show up for coffee with the cop.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing you talk about community events. I believe it's this week. This Thursday. I believe it's 28th. Madera Community Hospital is having their mixer.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's coming up. I don't know if you guys know. We'll probably be coming out with a press conference tomorrow, but we actually are assigning an officer over there.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So they have provided a space. They're really big into the safety of their people.
Yeah.
And we're into interacting and spreading out beyond, home base, what we call 330 South C Street. So
Right.
we're trying to get our people outside of this building. So we're assigning one over there. We think it'll be great community outreach to the people who are sick, who get taken advantage of, and the overall safety of the hospital. So
Yeah, police presence it goes a long way.
Sure.
I mean, even just sitting here, I feel safe, right, Alex?
Yeah.
Because Alex could be a little sketchy
Well,
sometimes.
that's why you guys put me in the middle. I feel
Yeah.
like you guys are always kind of just right on the cusp of
Right.
something big going on. So I'll diffuse the issue.
Right. So, man, in today, lesson learned is, we talk about all these initiatives that Madera Police Department is putting out there to, help show that, our officers are truly dedicated and devoted to this community. They're trying to provide outreach and things of that nature. But, who knew that a police officer had so much influence here in the community, and cares about it so much. And if you didn't know that, I think that this show here really proved that, right?
Right.
It showed that not only are they do they care, but they're keeping a close eye on where the opportunities are, how they can market the police department. And that almost sounds funny, right? But it's like where can we put our stamp? Where can we really help and make a difference?
See, our goal is not to take over, and sometimes you see that as big government taking over.
Right.
Our goal is to come alongside and be a partner with.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of what we've been along. So we just are trying to reach out to the community and say, where can we partner with you? Where can we help you? Where can we improve? So,
But I think the outreach, the involvement is the best investment that the police department is doing, and for the community too, because like we talked about in the beginning with Neighborhood Watch, you're curbing crime,
Sure.
And when neighbors can get involved too and report stuff, and you're getting ahead of it, instead of being, like I said, there's that other perception where the cops are the bad guys, they're out here to get me, they're, all that kind of stuff, and it's not the case, It's
Well,
not,
the new one we just put together was a business watch. I don't know, we haven't
Yeah.
talked about that much,
Mhm.
but last week, about a week and a half ago now, we had the one at Tessie, over 20 people there. And one of the big advantages of even the business watch is we're providing emails, if you get on the email list, of things to watch out for. Not just specific to your business, but maybe a criminal pattern that's occurring. This person's receiving a bunch of fake checks, maybe from this person, or the latest email we sent out, we had an individual who's been arrested in the last year and a half 13 times.
Wow.
And all for thefts. He goes in, steals from your local businesses, and so we put the face up and say, hey, when this person walks through the door, keep an eye on him.
Mhm.
You can refuse service if you want, that's your prerogative. We're not saying that, but we just want you to be aware so you're not victimized. So those are some of the services that we provide.
Now,
to
in that
our
situation, do you
business
guys still cut off fingers? And is that still a thing?
that was 7
We
years
can't
ago.
talk about
No. Okay.
It's like I want to explain, but we just got to leave it.
I've seen a few people walking around.
No, we're not criminals.
I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
That's the sad part. That's why he's done it 13 times, though.
Yeah,
At the same
yeah,
point is,
jeez.
we'll take him to jail and back on the streets you go. There's
And it's probably to the point where he's like, man, I like these guys. They're actually pretty funny. They're cool to hang out.
Maybe the
with.
food's too good at the jail. Or
I
something,
guess
don't
so.
know.
Old Manuel Perez over there, chief, is doing it too
Yeah,
well.
Manuel Perez, yeah. So one more thing I want to talk about, which is the whole this whole challenge for all these police departments to do their
Oh,
lip sync challenge.
So we're at the very end of that. Though.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you guys did that a few weeks ago.
Yes.
But I don't think I saw you in that video. What happened? You didn't get recruited? What happened?
No,
You were
I
off
didn't
that
make the
day?
list. We kind of kept it to the younger The music was younger,
Uh-huh,
right? I don't know that song, so I couldn't really be ready for the preparation side
Yeah,
of it. But.
yeah.
So do
No,
you're a movie star, aren't you? Like you would
No,
think they would bring you
that
in.
was Brett
You would think-
Prieto.
Oh, okay.
Brett
Oh,
Prieto.
okay. I thought that was you.
No. But Joseph Carrillo did an awesome job. He was
Yeah.
the one that put
Shout
that
out to
entire
Joseph, yeah.
shout out to Joseph. He spent so much time for us, and just I thought he did an outstanding job.
And
I
he
think
kept
it
it under
represented the
wraps.
community. It was quick.
Yeah.
It wasn't a super 10-minute long. And we actually lip synced. You know,
Yeah.
some of these were getting out of control. It was just
Yeah.
a dance competition or something.
Too
And we
fun.
all know police officers aren't the best dancers. So it was getting kind of embarrassing. So we
Yeah.
kept it short and sweet, and I think we represented our city well.
You know, it's funny. It's across the country or wherever, all these people doing it. There was always like one good dancer, and then
Uh-huh.
everybody else is
Yeah,
like
kinda,
around
yeah.
them, kind of like
Yeah.
bobbing around. But I think
Yes.
that's really cool. Yeah, Joseph, you did a great job on that. I know that you're watching because you're texting me right now, telling me about the bandwidth and all this
He's so
techie
technical.
stuff. And
Yeah, he is.
He said he was like messaging your guys' network guy, and like, and so I think we'll be well prepared next time with Joseph's feedback. So thank you, Joseph. But good job on that video for sure.
Yeah. So, that
So-
was pretty cool. And matter of fact, when right before that video came out, we were talking about John Roselle.
Yeah.
And his breakdancing.
Oh,
All of
he's
a sudden
got
we see him on
skills.
YouTube. Yeah.
And you know, it's funny, he doesn't practice anymore, but he still can go back to that old bag
Yeah.
of tricks.
Yeah.
You know, that was something that was high school days, but
Yeah, you know, John.
remember
I imagine John practices at home. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah.
So
Like
he's
in the
got a
mirror,
mirror
just
in
the
kind
mirror.
of in his garage. That's how he decompresses. Kind of like flash dance. He's in there just tearing it up.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
but-
he needs something because he's currently the detectives of our sex crimes. And that's a
man.
difficult one to bring home
Wow.
every day. Those are some long days of hearing some real sad stories, especially when it involves kids. So
Wow.
if he goes home and pop locks, I give him a
Yeah,
break.
give
keep
it,
doing
give
it,
it to
Johnny.
him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you guys keep doing what you're doing. We really appreciate you guys here in the community. You guys are doing a fantastic job.
Well,
we
thanks,
support
Alex.
you.
We
We support you
appreciate
guys. And yeah, thank you so much.
So I just say, if there's something that comes up that you guys need help on, give us a call. Give us a chance to fix it. Whether it be, like we talked about earlier, code enforcement or some of the rental inspections. Just to finish up on that, we're doing pre-1970s as
Okay.
our start.
Yeah.
So some of the worst, maybe because they're dilapidated or maybe the owner didn't spend a lot of time with it, come to us. We can work together.
Yeah.
There's extensions that we can give you the time you need to fix it. Our goal is to get them fixed.
Yeah, it's not to
so
collect money, right?
That's not the end goal. Now, that's
yeah.
the teeth behind it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, sometimes we wouldn't get people to do stuff.
Right.
But again, you're not charged those fines until it's not fixed or you choose to ignore it.
Right.
You're given 30 days for the first violations. We come back, we take a look, and if they're major business code or building code violations type things, maybe there was an addition. Yeah, you may have to file a second.
Okay.
So
And for realtors and affiliates who are watching, get ahead of it. Reach out.
please do.
Find out what you got to do for your property that's pre-1970
We have a
right now.
checklist.
Yeah,
We'll
got the
provide you. We
checklist.
provide it when we give you notice. We give you 30 days notice. We provide the checklist. But if you want beforehand to say, hey, what are they going to be looking at? Stop by the police department. Code enforcement is right here, housed in our department now.
Sounds good. Excellent. And then just a recap on some of the events this week. Wednesday is affiliate luncheon. Today is the candidates forum. Wednesday,
Tonight,
affiliate luncheon. Friday, poker tournament. And then Saturday, Old Timers Day parade. So
And Saturday evening talent show.
there you go. And Saturday evening talent show. And then
Busy
we'll rest
week.
on Sunday.
Yeah. So hey, Madera, welcome home, and if you haven't made Madera home, reach out. Let's make it happen, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
We want you here at Madera and hanging out with Gino, not getting arrested.
Love to have you.
Not getting arrested.
Not
right?
this time.
But
But you
having
look like a
no-
detective.
having-
We didn't say
Yeah.
that. You look like a detective.
I borrowed this.
Sure.
I borrowed this shirt from John Roselle. So he
Isn't that the money shirt? It's money green, right?
yeah, it was the one that was hanging, and I didn't have to iron it. I was in a rush. So anyway, all right, fellas. Well, thank you so much,
You
and
very
we are
much.
signing off.